make LaTonya a co-host?
September 7th, 6 p.m. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order and ask for a pledge of allegiance. You bring the flag up and we'll do a little pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very nicely done. I so missed calling people out in the room. That was the funnest part. Most fun part. Great. We go ahead and get a roll call.
Yes, Councilmember Agrimonti.
Here.
Councilmember Harrington.
Present.
Councilmember Cook is absent, and Councilmember Hundley is absent, and Mayor Harvey.
Present.
Thank you.
All right, great. So just to update, because I know we've got a lot of participants, so there may be some people who are new to this. We are participating online, as you can tell. And so everybody's participating from their homes. We're allowing members of staff or council to turn off their camera if they need to. They're not going to be leaving the room. They'll just be turning off their camera, so that is allowed. And also, we may have an issue where somebody tries to Zoom bomb us and kind of takes over the meeting. If that does happen, we will stop the meeting process and then try to restart it. No decisions will be taken during that interim where you can't see us. But if we are unable to restart, then we'll just be starting the meeting at a later date, which we'll post. But again, no actions will be taken. Beyond that, if you'd like to make a public comment, you can submit them via email to publiccomment@sonomacity.org, and they will be read during the public comment period. You also may participate through the Zoom for public comment. So you'll raise your hand virtually, and we will select you, invite you into the meeting. You'll have 3 minutes, just like normal. I'll be doing the timing, so I'll say, 1 minute left, 30 seconds left. So I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to let you know how much time you have left. If you're calling into the meeting, just dial *9 on your phone, and that raises a hand for us. All right, so that's just covering that. And we'll go ahead and report on the closed session. Pretty easy because we had no closed session. Cover it? All right, great. So if I can get a motion to approve the agenda.
So move. Madeline.
I'll second. And we'll get a roll call vote, please.
Yes, Councilmember Agrimonti.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington.
Aye.
And Mayor Harvey.
Yes. And
Thank
if
you.
anybody's wondering, thank you. Sorry, Wendy. If anybody's wondering why Jack isn't being called yet, it's because we have to introduce him onto council, and then he will be officially a member of council and a voting member. But right now, he's a spectator about to become, eminently becoming a member of our council. So we're looking forward to that moment, which is coming up shortly. Now we'll move on to comments from the public. At this time, members of the public may comment on any items not appearing on the agenda. It is recommended that you keep comments under 3 minutes under state law. Unless otherwise permitted by under the Ralph M. Brown Act, the merits of this matters presented under this item cannot be discussed or acted upon by City Council at this time. For items appearing on the agenda, please wait till that item comes up. All right, so we'll go ahead and open it up for public comment, and we'll see if we have folks raising their hands.
We have one written comment from the public. LaTonya would
go for that. Yeah, let's do that first.
Yeah, LaTonya, would you like me to read that?
No, I can read it, Wendy.
Okay, thank you.
This is from Lynn Marie DeVincent. Honorable Mayor, Council, and staff, I am writing tonight to thank all of you for your steady work throughout this unprecedented year of challenges. In particular, I commend outgoing Mayor Harvey for his steadfast presence in so many meetings and situations, and I welcome whomever steps up to be our new mayor. I also extend my deep gratitude to City Manager Kathy Caprioli, who listened to the community during the almost 3 years of work on the cell tower campaign. It was her courage and confidence that redirected the project in 2018 when she met with me and other community representatives and was subsequently able to negotiate a new contract with Verizon. That was the turning point. Thanks to her vision and our city planning department support and our city attorney's excellent contributions, our town will have better options in the technological arena. I wish Kathy the best for the future. You have given us your best. Sincerely, Lynn Marie DeVincent, Sonoma Neighbors for Safe Tech.
Oh, that's really nice. Thanks, Len. We'll go ahead and bring in Ken. Ken, you're with us now. You've got to unmute your microphone now.
Can you hear me?
We can.
Oh, a miracle. Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Dear citizens, I'm very unhappy with the current state of affairs within the cannabis community and local government. I'm a 46-year resident of Sonoma and Sonoma Valley and have been active in local government both as a commissioner and a 16-year councilman and mayor. I've raised 4 beautiful children here in Sonoma, along with my dear wife, Jewel. We have participated directly in each and every cannabis focused meeting in the pursuit of providing the city of Sonoma with proper dispensaries to serve medical and recreational cannabis users. We are now arguing over whether there should be 2 dispensaries to serve the population, just 1. Frankly, this agreement is severely harshing my buzz. My tried and true method of dealing with conflict is to have a meeting to deal with the issues. It's okay with me if folks don't want to do this. I can stay on my porch, look out onto Fire Creek Pike and pedestrian path, thank you, city, and smoke my American Series in 2020 cannabis. This will appear tomorrow in the Index Tribune, and I include my email and phone number. I am a prompt responder, Ken Brown, president of the Sonoma Valley Cannabis Enthusiasts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ken. And we'll move on now to Mark. Looks like Mark Budenhammer. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Mayor. Can you hear me okay?
We can indeed.
Great. Tough act to follow there with Ken. I unfortunately am not having quite as good of a night as him, but always good to hear from Ken. I just wanted to take a minute to thank you, Mayor Harvey, and everybody on the council for everything that you guys have done this year. This has obviously been an extraordinary year and did not go the way that it was planned, but I really do just admire, certainly your leadership and but truly everybody on council pitched in to do everything they could to assist our business community. And there have been multiple times where Sonoma, our little town of 10,000 people, has been out front on some issues and taking leadership roles on getting things done that cities 2 and 3 times our size haven't been able to keep up with the good work. So this goes not only to our mayor, but to everybody on council, and especially a thank you to Kathy and the team at City Hall. Really has just been a tremendous team effort. And on behalf of the business community, I just want to really pause and thank you guys, because we really couldn't have gotten through this if this was without the partnership of the city, and you guys really stepped up to the plate. So just want to thank you, and I don't know if this is our last chance to commend Kathy for her leadership, but if so, Kathy, you've just been a dream to work with, and your leadership throughout this time period has been incredible. So thank you all. We've still got a lot of work to do. The next few months are going to be incredibly challenging. So let's buckle up and refresh ourselves over this little break we're getting. But anyway, just wanted to thank you all and congratulate you, Mayor, on a great year.
Well, thank you, Mark. And I think I can speak for all of us when we say right back at you. It's really been your leadership at the chamber that's brought a lot of these things to the fore, and it's a true partnership, and it's been wonderful to see that over this year and see that grow and those connections build. So appreciate your leadership as well. We've got Fred Allebach.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I wasn't sure if this was the last meeting, but I better not miss my opportunity to say my thank yous to Kathy. I remember her first day, the first time that I met her, I went into her office and she had a pad of paper and we had a nice chat. And I felt like a really good connection with her the whole time. And I'm sorry to see her go. And I hope that I see her around town. And I'd also like to commend Logan for really rising to the task of COVID-19 and representing the city extremely well. I'm really glad to have had Logan as mayor, and I'm really happy that Jack is coming in. And I really like the other council members as well. And so I hope this isn't the last chance that I have to say anything publicly, but I would like to acknowledge particularly Kathy and Logan at this time. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. All right, great. So we're moving on to see if there are meeting I see nobody else rising for public comment, so I'll go ahead and close public comment. And I always wish I had my gavel. I don't know why I haven't gotten to grab it. Okay, so we're going on to meeting dedications. And I am aware that there are meeting dedications. Our leading meeting dedicator, which is Councilmember Agrimonti.
Am I the official dedicator?
I think you are. If anybody is, it's certainly you.
Well, so I am very saddened by reporting on having a dedication for John J.G. Fanucchi, born September 21, 1941, and passed away November 21st, 2020.
Oh, no.
John Fanucchi, a loving husband, father, brother, and grandfather, has passed after a 2-week battle with COVID-19.
Oh.
He was the child of parents Guido and Angelina, who arrived through Ellis Island, initially only fluent in Italian, where he was born and raised in Lincoln, California. He obtained a Bachelor's of Science degree in business from California State University of Sacramento. And he has been a resident of Sonoma since 1978. He was also, and I understand a lot of people knew him because of this, he was the manager of PG&E until 1992, when he took an early retirement. His next journey included being an influential support to his wife's, I think she was diabetic, early retirement, and his wife was diabetic, was a diabetic supply business, had a diabetic supply business, and that's when I met her many years ago, where he worked alongside family and friends until selling the business in 2010. John has left an unbelievable legacy. His legacy included, but not limited to, serving the community. He was a member of the Rotary Club for 30 years as a co-creator and president of the Sonoma Bocce League for 7 years, a member of Sonoma Valley Golf Club, Pedro Men's Group, and his monthly poker group. Many may recognize him as the famous woodchucker through the numerous hours he spent in his labor of love to share in his cords of firewood. In fact, someone called and said, "Is that John the firewood man?" When I told him he had passed away. He is survived by his wife, Sheila. After a loving 58 years of marriage, he leaves behind his loving sister, Alba Velo, her husband, Mario, his 3 sons and their wives, Joe, wife Teresa, Mike, wife Rose, Chris, wife Semra, and his 5 grandchildren, Isabella, Gabriela, Samuel, Gia, and Francesca. He never missed a milestone in his family's lives, and John's infectious smile, along with his radiant heart, will be dearly missed. A celebration of life will be scheduled at a later date once COVID restrictions are lifted. And I met him many years ago, and just a very charming guy and pretty amazing. One of the important people here in Sonoma. You know, we have a lot of very important people who were actually iconic, and he certainly was one of them. So I know that he's going to be sorely missed, and I thought he certainly deserved this dedication at the city council meeting. So to you, the Fanucchi family, we hope this is of some way helpful. Thank you.
Boy,
Thank you, Madeline.
thank you, Madeline. I was just gonna say, I used to live out in the country, and John and Sheila had a barn around the corner from me, and in that barn, Sheila used to sew American Girl doll clothes, and she would sell them for $5 because she wanted to make sure that every little kid that had a doll could use their allowance to buy doll clothes. And John and Sheila, we went there all the time when my kids were little, to their barn, to the American Girl doll store out in the middle of the country. And they're such a wonderful couple, and I'm so sad for Sheila. What terrible news. I hadn't heard that before. Thank you, Madeline.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Madeline. That was a beautiful tribute. Appreciate it. Great. And so we'll move on. We got no presentations, so we'll move on to consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be acted upon by a single motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless the members of council, staff, or public request specific items to be removed for separate action. At this time, the council may change the order of the agenda. Do we have anybody wishing to pull any item off consent calendar? No? I'll go ahead and open for public comment. Anyone rising for public comment? Give it a little bit of time. Being none, I'll go ahead and close public comment and bring it back. And I just want to acknowledge that this is us acknowledging the results of the general election that we had, which resulted in the re-election of Councilmember Harrington and the election of Jack Ding. So official now. We've accepted the results. Now we got to move on to the council reorg and the rest of it. So moving on to item 5.1, this public hearing.
You have to repeat.
Mayor Harvey, Mayor Harvey,
Whoa. What happened?
you need a motion and a vote,
Oh,
please.
gotta do a
Move
vote.
to
Okay.
approve the
Move to
consent
approve.
4.1, 4.2, and 4.3.
All right.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Thank you. Councilmember Agrimonti,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington,
Aye.
and Mayor Harvey.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 302.
Great. Great. Moving on to item 5.1. So we are.
I got him. Thank you.
So we're continuing this a date certain. Is that the plan here? Is that a 5.1?
Yes, you're going to open the public hearing. This is a public hearing about some development code changes that originally this meeting was going to be the business meeting, so we've noticed it for the 7th. So we'd ask council to continue it to the December 14th meeting, but you will need to open it, continue to the 14th, take any public comment, and close it.
Okay. We'll open item 5.1 for public comment. And we are closing public comment. And can I get a motion to move this to a date certain? What date? Again, the 17th?
December 14th.
Move this item 5.1 to December 14th. And a motion?
So move. Agrimonti.
Second, Harrington.
Great. Roll call vote, Harvey.
Councilmember Agrimonti,
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington,
Aye.
and Mayor Logan Harvey.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes
Oh.
302.
Great. On to the fun stuff. So we've got item 6.1, recognition of re-elected Councilmember Harrington and introduction of oath of office for Councilmember Jack Ding. So I'll turn it over to Kathy.
All right, thank you, Mayor Harvey. So we're going to start with the our two council members, both the re-election of Councilmember Harrington and the swearing in of Councilmember-elect Jack Ding. And then after we've completed that, we'll move to the mayor and vice mayor. I do want to apologize to our council members that are coming in. To have this in a virtual format, not be able to be in person makes it a little more difficult. But we've done a few things to try to say thank you. We've, as staff, delivered some flowers and a personal cake to the council members. Part of it is, since we can't celebrate together, at least you maybe can celebrate in your household, COVID-safe. So a few little things there. I do want to acknowledge Councilmember Harrington and congratulate her on her reelection. She secured 4,207 votes, or 49.7. No, I think I've got the wrong quote there. And then there will be no new vote of office for Councilmember Harrington once she's already done her oath, and that oath continues. And then Councilmember-elect Ding was also congratulations on your election, and you will be doing the oath of office. And we will be having Rebecca Barr, our city clerk, do that. So the way this will work is we'll start with re-election of Councilmember Harrington, and we started a new process last year where we do a pinning, an opportunity to take a city pin and have the council member chooses someone that they would like to place a city pin for a little bit of officialdom. And then the council member who has just been elected or re-elected will make their comments and statements that will then go to comments from the council member colleagues, and then we'll go to the next council member. We'll go to council member Jack Ding, and then we'll go to public comment at the very end of this item. So with that, I'd like to turn it over and to the mayor to facilitate the rest of the process, and turn it over to Councilmember Harrington if you would like to move forward with the pinning and introduce who you would like to pin, and then if you would like to make your comments.
Should I go?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. All right. I will be having my husband, John, pin this on me. All right.
Thank God, they're just different kind of pins now.
Be careful, don't push it.
Oh!
Should I push it harder?
It's kind of a Navy thing, just so you don't need the back. Thank you.
Hey!
Yay!
No, I wanted to say about the next 4 years. Certainly we've had in the last 6 months, 2 months, quite a bit of turmoil on this council, but I really adore Mayor Harvey and Madeline Agrimonti. We get along so well, and I'm so excited for Jack to be part of this council. And I just think we're really going to have great colleagues, and also the city staff is so wonderful. We'll be sad to be losing Kathy, but she's put us in the competent hands of city manager Kip. So I think we're, things are good. And in terms of what I'm concerned about over the next several years through the end of the pandemic, I am absolutely concerned about creating opportunities for people to use our city, our recreation. I think has to be a focus so that people can have safe spaces where they can be together outside. I'm very concerned about what's going on with parents, as a parent myself, about especially parents of young children who don't have kids in school. And I think that we need to make sure that everyone who goes to school in this town has access to the internet. I think that's a really big thing on my mind, which is how do we keep kids from falling behind through infrastructure, and also how do we make sure that parents can all stay in the workforce to the best of their abilities? Those are major things that weigh on me personally, and that I'm really concerned about. But I know with this city council and our staff, those are the kind of things that we can tackle. In the last couple of years, we've tackled some huge issues, which have been really meaningful, like raising the minimum wage, saving Shock and Hill, creating the affordable housing trust funds, things I'm incredibly proud of. And I think now, Mayor Harvey's done such a great job working with the Chamber of Commerce and the city to support businesses, but absolutely we need to figure out other ways we can support families to the best of our ability. So I look forward to the work we have to do coming up, and I'm super excited to be part of this city council and this team. I really, adore everybody here, and I'm so happy we're colleagues. Thank you.
It's a room full of people. But they're all.
Yeah, sit down over there.
Quiet down, stop clapping so much.
Oh, we only do snaps here. Jazz hands, please.
Okay, all right. Just keep it down, audience.
Just put your jazz hands in the comments. It's fine.
Very nice. All right, so we're moving on to Councilmember.
No, actually, yeah, Mayor Harvey, the next thing is any comments from regarding Councilmember Harrington's reelection. So from council members, and then you can, and then we can move to Councilmember electing.
All right.
Oh, Mr.
Go right
Mayor,
ahead.
I'd love to say something. I can't tell you how much I enjoy, you know, what did Gary Edwards used to say? Well, that was quite an ass tangle. Sometimes Amy and I have ass tangles, but you know what? God darn it, we just shake and, you know, and go on. And I just find her very innovative and creative. And I'm always good for a laugh. So nobody can really harbor any ill will, I guess, for too long. But I just really enjoy working with Amy. I think she's pretty doggone amazing, and she's probably one of the smartest persons I've ever worked with. And I've worked with a lot of people. So I want to say I've enjoyed working with you, and I congratulate you on your reelection, and I look forward to working with you again.
Thank you, Madeline. That's so nice
Yeah.
to say.
Well, and I'd say, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure. I only met you the last couple of years when I started running for council, and you've been a great friend and a great mentor, and just really appreciate working with you. We've gotten a lot done. I mean, I was looking at the list of things that I ran on when I was coming into council, and it was like, check, check, check. We got all these things done. And it was really your leadership that year when you were mayor that really pushed it through. So it was a lot of work and a lot of great work. And we worked together on the minimum wage subcommittee, which was, we definitely had some difficult meetings during that time. But we got it done. We got through it. And it was great to work with you. And I'm so glad that you're back on council. And if you had to run a real election, I want to, try to knock on doors or whatever was permissible in a COVID world for you. But I'm glad to see that you're back, and we've got a good team together, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful year where we can get a lot of great stuff done. So appreciate it, and so glad you're back on council, and appreciate working with you. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I feel the same. So, I mean, one of the nicest parts, about being on council is making new friends for real. And I really adore both you and Madeline. It really is wonderful being on here with you guys.
Yeah, thanks. All right. So do we have comments from the public about Amy now?
And we'll do that after. We'll do Councilmember Ding, and then we'll open a public comment for both.
All right, great. So we'll go to Councilmember Ding, or soon to be, not yet, because you got to do this big oath. Councilmember Ding.
So,
And I assume, Jack, you received the oath I mailed you? Did you get it? Perfect. Okay, if you would raise your right hand and repeat after me.
Sure.
You can read it there. I state your name.
I,
State your name.
Jack Dean, Council
Council member, do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
to the Constitution of State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take the obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
which I will to enter.
Congratulations. Welcome to the council.
Yay,
Thank you.
Jack! Okay,
Thank
everybody,
you so
sit
much.
down.
Thank you. It's a long journey for me. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Harvey. Thank you to each and a council member here. And also thank you, Kathy Caprio. And you taking care of me just like the babysitter. And then how to do this, how to do that. I really appreciate it. And also Rebecca and Rita. And do a lot of things, actually deliver the flowers and the cake. That surprised me. It is the first time for me to get this kind of formal and ceremony. I really appreciate it. And I will take a little bit longer and tell you something, what I'm thinking, okay? So basically, I'm so honored to become the city council member. As a proud Sonoman, I know who I am and where I came from. I will work hard and serve the community with integrity, diligence, and respect. Sonoma is a great historic town. Today, we can get together, make another piece of the history for our Sonoma town. We are so proud that we have the great founder, General Vallejo, to shape the city. Also, we know this town was built over 180 years ago. What most people don't know is during the early of our Sonoma, 25% of population were Chinese laborers. They will work here, they lived here, some of them died here. However, they couldn't find a place to be buried in a cemetery because they are not white, they were not Christian. They were not forgotten for many, many years and were not highlighted in the history because of the racist and Chinese Exclusion Act, 1882. Still, they are great builders of our Sonoma. We see their vineyards, wine cellars, and the stone walls all over our town. So very few of them had an English name. If you ask them what kind of name you have, they don't know. But under the census, everybody got the same name. That is John Chinaman, John Chinaman, John Chinaman. Time is changing. Time is changing. Our Sonoma is a great town with inclusiveness and love. That is a beautiful city for us to live. What we can do for now, we need to work hard and take this historical responsibility because we are blessed to live and work here in Sonoma. If we go back, look at history, we should take a huge responsibility. That is someday in the future, when we pass over to our younger generation, city of the Sonoma should be stronger, more vibrant, and beautiful. Thank you so much. Take a little bit longer. I want to tell you who am I. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jack.
Yay, Jack!
Jack and Mayor Harvey and Councilmember Dean, can we please have you introduce the individual and to put your city pin on, Councilmember Dean?
Hi, this is Monica.
Here we go. It's official.
You're official.
Thank you.
Welcome, Jack.
Thank you so much. We work together.
So Councilmember Harvey, you can now go to public comments for anyone who would like to make any public comments.
I think maybe council wants to make.
Oh,
some
council
comments.
members, I'm
Welcome.
sorry, back on Jane, my apologies.
No, no worries. Absolutely. Comments from council?
I was just going to say, I first met Jack when I was the city council member on the SBCAC, and I watched him there. He was the chair at that time, and he did such a great job. And then even during his first campaign, I really enjoyed it because we got to see, learn a little bit more about him as a person. I really thought it was so cute when you were putting up recipes and old photos. That was such a such a fun campaign that you ran, and I thought it was really great that you decided to run again. And I think it's wonderful having you on here, having seen you in action both on the UGB and also with the Haven. And all your commitment to the community. It's really exciting to have somebody who has, can hit the ground running because you have so much experience with government, but also, all the relationships with some of the really important partners that we have. So I just think you're the perfect addition to the council, and it's really wonderful to have you on here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Councilmember Agrimonti?
Sure. Well, Jack, we have worked very closely with respect to SOS. You know where my heart is. And of course, I have different pieces of my heart that belong to different pieces of Sonoma, but of great importance to me is the success of SOS. And I know you feel the same way. And I think that I believe it's evolving and getting even better in spite of the fact that SOS is feeding more and helping more and more people. So that's something I think we have a common bond. And I really look forward to working with you, Jack, because I've got everyone fooled. I can't count. You have that experience. I'm looking to you to help me with numbers. Logan has, Amy has, because I know I'm intuitive. I have a feeling what's working. But then there are people here that say, no, Madeline, that's not right. So I expect you to do the same thing, Jack, because I need a numbers person to be working with.
Shall we work together? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Jack, I got to run with you in 2018, and you were always such a positive person who really cared deeply about Sonoma, and I see that in you now, and I think it's wonderful that you bring such a historical perspective too. You're always thinking in terms of the past and the future.
Yes.
And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think it's that recognition of our duty and the importance of our duty is something that I think will be wonderful to have invigorated again on the city council. And I think you'll really bring that. So I'm so excited for this year and the next 4 with you on council. I think you're a wonderful addition, and I just can't wait to start working with you. So we are now, so it's already happening. So it's great, and congratulations again on your historic victory. I think it is really a full circle moment for the city of Sonoma. As you were saying, we had Chinese laborers that many people forgot about. Now we have a Chinese member of our city council, Chinese American member of city council. And that's a beautiful, a poetic thing. And so we're moving forward and moving upwards, and I'm glad to see you here for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Let's work together.
And I'll go ahead and open it up now for public comment. We've got TeriShore.
Ah,
Well, yes, hello. Good evening, everyone. TeriShore, 515 Hopkins Street, Sonoma. Well, I wanted to congratulate the city council members. First, to thank and congratulate Amy Harrington for being voted in as a city council member. I want to thank you because you really stand up for what you believe in. You're not afraid to say what you believe in and stand up for it. And also, I really appreciate, Amy, that you are approachable and responsive, whatever the issue, whether it was the urban growth boundary or homelessness or, events on the plaza. Anytime I called you or emailed, you always responded to me. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your leadership on the city council. And then when it comes to Jack, well, Jack, congratulations on becoming a city council member. Like Amy, I first met you when you were the chair of the Sonoma Valley Citizens Advisory Commission, and I really appreciated your support for community separators as chair and since then, and also got to know you while working on the Measure W campaign for the urban growth boundary. And I just appreciate you so much, Jack, because you are, you're authentic, you're positive. I think you're very fair. You don't have any hidden agendas. You really do want to serve the community, and you're always willing to help people out, whatever their issue is, and whether it's their taxes or something else. And when we were out talking to the public, I mean, you were so good talking to people in the community, and you just enjoyed it. And you have many, many connections across the spectrum, from small business owners to environmentalists to housing advocates to homelessness. So I'm just thrilled. And I also want to say thank you, Kathy Capriola, for all your work at the city. I've also enjoyed working with you and for you being responsive. And I look forward to working with the city, with you, Logan, as we move forward on the general plan update, on the housing element, and of course with Rachel, who isn't here tonight. And lastly, as I hear the carpet cleaner coming in behind me, you know, the Urban Growth Boundary team was able to make a donation to the housing fund at $500, and it looks like we're going to be able to make an additional donation of $500 or $600 to the housing trust fund. So we're there with you and the city council all the way. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. And we've got, looks like Ken has raised his hand and then brought it back down. Ken, do you want to jump in here? I'm seeing nobody else raise their hand. So we'll go ahead and close public comment and bring it back to the council.
Can I show one thing?
You may.
I'll try to show this. This is the cake that Kathy Capriola and the city of Sonoma sent me. I think I got it.
There you go.
Hey!
Wow, that is different color. I have the white.
Oh, show your cake, Jack.
Oh, sure. Just a second.
I'll get it.
We want to see that cake.
I'll get it.
Yeah.
So
different color. Are the white color and the outside of the circles. They're so beautiful.
Oh, because mine's gluten free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jack says extra gluten.
So we'll do a little promo for Scandia Bakery here, and also want to thank Rebecca for making it happen, and Rita.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Rita.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, look at this cake.
Yeah, look at that.
It's
My
Good cake.
bigger than your head.
big one in my head.
And you can see Scanny can do the seals and everything. They have the best cranberry scones too.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
That's
guys.
good, yeah. Happy.
We're coming over,
Something
Jack.
I could do with
Yeah.
my hands.
Yeah, we're gonna come over with masks and forks. Awesome. Great. So moving along, to item 6.2, city council reorganization, which is
Recognition of the outgoing mayor.
there we go. Okay, so we've got recognition of outgoing mayor, me.
Great, Mayor Harvey, I'm going to kind of start this, and then I know that your colleagues have many comments as well. You know, as council and community knows, being a mayor, this is a part-time job, but this is really this becomes a full-time job when you're mayor. You're the parliamentarian, you work closely with the city manager and staff on issues, and you are the ceremonial lead for the city. Now, the world of the pandemic hitting in March created sideswiped all of us, but I really, just want to give major kudos and appreciation to Mayor Harvey for his diligence, commitment, and leadership over the last, whatever it's been, 10 months, right? Time just evaporates. But Logan really stayed positive. He worked tons of hours. He's been involved in mayor's calls, food security task force, with the business expansion team working. Also just constantly problem solving and doing outreach. In particular, some really important connections made back with the Springs with COVID and really reaching out to our Latinx community and being involved there. So on behalf of staff, we are really appreciative and really want to thank you for all your time. I want to read one quote, and then we have a little gift that we've delivered to your house if you could open it on behalf of the council and staff. But this quote was by Thomas Paine, and it says, "These are the times that try men's souls. The summertime soldier and the sunrise patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of the country. But he that stands it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman." And Mayor Harvey, you have stood tall. You have represented this council and community well and deeply with great dedication and integrity. And it is not, you have not gotten the fanfare and the opportunities that a mayor gets a lot, but you provided great leadership. And so on behalf of the staff and council, we want to say thank you. There's a little gift if you would open in the bag. We've bonded this last year.
I'm such a softie. You're making me cry. This is my wife, Lily, those who don't know.
We're both softies.
Oh, yay! I got a gavel, finally. Oh, it's so nice.
It's beautiful.
It's got a little flat.
So
I'll show.
we typically give the
Logan
crystal,
Harvey.
but it felt like a wood one with you was something that you would like more. So
Yeah, I love it. It's so nice. Thank you.
So thank you, Mayor Harvey, for your service and dedication during a really hard year. And with that, I'll turn it maybe to Councilmember Harrington and then Councilmember Agrimonti and Councilmember Ding. Thank you.
Yeah, I would just say, I had no doubts about Logan being the mayor from the beginning, but obviously you never know until someone takes over what their style will be. And I would say watching Logan, his style is really, he spends a lot of time with people and a lot. I mean, so many people have said that they met with him again, and he really doesn't just come up with ideas, but he does a tremendous amount of legwork to go with that. So to make things a reality, which I think is amazing and really selfless. I think, I don't know what the statistics are, but if anyone can remember the last time somebody was mayor who grew up in this town, I think it's probably been a really long time. So I also think that is something just amazing, the amount of pride he has for the town, the amount of knowledge he has about kind of the people and the culture and the places and the history and what this town means to people. It's something so deep in his heart, So I just think nobody could have done a better job. There is, you just did an incredible job. Everything that was asked of you, you were in a grouchy mood less than 10% of the time, which is amazing because at the end of my mayor year, it was like 90% of the time. And you just really, right person at the right time. And I was so fortunate that this was your mayor year. You just did the town proud. So thank you for all of your service.
Is that me?
Sure.
Me now? Well, I'm Jack. Well, how fast life moves on. Logan, I wanted to tell you something. You know me, I'm just like, I have to say, you know what, Logan, you don't want to be known as a slurry seal mayor because it annoys me. You know me, people business, city business. And I have to tell you, you overwhelmed and outdid anybody with respect to working so hard for the people of Sonoma, always with a smile, always with time, whether it's giving out food, helping the chamber, ensuring the safety for people who are going into the city, ensuring the safety of employees, working so hard on the minimum wage, a lot of things that you did. So I congratulate you. I will never say you don't want to be a slurry seal mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madeline. I appreciate it. Jack, you're welcome to make comments if you'd like to, and if you don't, that's
Sure, definitely. Yeah, I'm not ready yet. But anyway, I know the Logan that is 2 years ago. And although we got in the same race, supposed to be against each other and fighting each other, but we really not. We really enjoy each other. That is fantastic. You know, sometimes when we have the debate, we sit next to each other. And we always encourage each other. Oh, you did a great job. You got a point. Look at so many people close for you. And sometimes, hey, Jack, I like your shoes. I will say, because nothing want to say, just show the goodwill. So that is very positive. So from the Logan here, the positiveness and the moving forward concerning is wonderful. And also, we have the homeless, we have the town hall for the homeless crisis, that one. I really, really, relies on the Logan and has this kind of leadership. At the beginning, we were worried because, the cafe kings and all on the board members and worried about that because this is related to our homeless and the clients. But at the beginning, it's a little bit out of control. But at the end of the meeting, town hall, that looks like everybody got an answer. And then they come down and peacefully and in some way support our homeless and the business. Actually, it's not a business. It's the homeless and population. And that is the impressed me a lot. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, Jack. Oh. I guess I'll make some comments. I just really appreciate everything everybody said. It's been a really, really difficult year for the town. And Jack's mentioning something that happened in January, February, and it feels like it was like 2 or 3 years ago. This is a year that has just really ground everybody down and really pulled out the best of us. And I think we saw really the best of staff, the best of council, and it really drove me to do everything that I possibly could to try to hold this town together and to try to provide. And it really just comes from a place of caring. I'm a working class person that rents an apartment, and there's a lot of those folks that are really hurting right now. So, I'm so thankful to so many people for this year. Kathy and your leadership was a crucial part, and it was so key to have a relationship with you this year to make sure that we could provide for the city, that we could provide responses and answers to businesses, that we could provide responses around health and the rest of it. And I think, really the work that we did as a city to not only provide for ourselves, but also for the Valley at this time was critical. And we started off with the food task force. I was there every single, twice a week, every week, handing out food, getting people organized, flagging the cars and everything. But it was also the work of Lisa Jansen and yourself, and people like Maite and Nuri and the rest of it that were down there, Mary Carmen Reyes and other folks that were down there, making sure that was organized. Redwood Empire Food Bank did a fantastic job at the beginning of that. And then into additional stuff. I mean, we had so many helpers. I mean, I just want to give a list of thanks. I mean, thank you to Jennifer Gray Thompson at North Bay Rebuild. She did a lot of great work for the community. Supervisor Gorin's office, Supervisor Gorin herself, and Karina Garcia have been fantastic in putting this community together and building this. Kathy King has had great answers in terms of food for the homeless population, and that move, bringing them, bringing that food location out into the Springs Community Hall has helped a lot of people, and just little things. Like I remember I called Kathy, I went and was helping make food at the SOS in the morning, and I talked to the guy Dan there, and he said, oh, we've got people that haven't had a shower in a couple weeks because they weren't allowed to use the showers in there. Kathy got on the phone with the county, and we got that thing there in just a number of days. And it was amazing to see that kind of teamwork and how that worked. And now it's been focused on businesses. I had a drink on the plaza, or I'm not drinking, I had a mocktail on the plaza before this meeting at EDK. And it's beautiful. I mean, what we've done in some ways to support the businesses are beautiful. And that's really the work of, David and Colleen Ferguson and Jeff Walter and Kathy and Mark from the chamber and all these businesses. So it's just been such a team effort. And, Rebecca figuring out how to do these meetings. So I just want to be so thankful and appreciative for the whole community and the ways that they've come together, and for every parent that is, working from home and babies and raising their children and being a teacher to make sure that our community stays safe, and for every frontline health worker that's out there, and everybody who's in a grocery store right now and working in fields and everything else to make sure the community is fed. I mean, just thank you, because this is such a team effort, and it's truly the honor of my life to serve as your mayor. Like it's been a big thing for me, and the fanfare and everything like that would be wonderful, but doing the real work that makes me feel great, and that we did it well. So I'm proud of this year and happy about my gavel. So with that, I'll bring it to public comment, and just thank you all, and we'll keep going through. We're not out of the woods yet completely, but we can start to see the light through the trees, and we'll get there. We'll get there. Thanks. All right, we'll go ahead and open it up for public comment. We got Mark.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I just first of all, Logan, I hope you are so proud of yourself for the work that you've done. Amy touched on this, but I really just want to reiterate it. It's pretty easy showing up. It's a lot of work, but it's pretty easy showing up to council meetings and voting up or down on things. But it's that typical iceberg analogy where that's a lot of times what people see. And there's this bigger, massive work underneath. And man, you showed up so much this year. I can't tell you how many times I heard, I'd go and talk to a business and they'd say, well, Logan came by and asked me some questions about this. And I, randomly went out. I saw you out at Hannah Center handing out food to people. Those little things, they make such a huge difference. You never asked for, credit or publicity for them. And I just really admire the way you conducted yourself this year. And I agree with whoever it was that said it. We just got really lucky that you were the person steering the ship this year. So I'm super thankful for everything you've done, and have enjoyed working with you, and obviously we'll continue working with you. But just congratulations on a great year, and thank you for everything you've done. For the business community, yes, but more specifically, just for everybody in Sonoma, you've just really been a true leader, and it's been a really impressive year. So congratulations, and thank you for everything, Logan.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. It's been great. It's been great getting to know you much better this year. And we'll do drinks at the panel soon. Anybody else? All right. Looks like we got nobody else rising for public comment. Oh, Ken is like, let's bring Ken in because he keeps raising his hand and then. Ken, did you want to make a public comment, or you can?
Hit that gavel, Mr. Mayor.
All right, fine. All right, cool. So we got nobody else rising for public comment. We'll go ahead and close public comment. and bring it back to the council. And now it's time for the selection of the new mayor. So we'll go ahead.
For nominations?
Yeah, I'm looking for nominations.
Well, okay, pick up that gavel again, Mr. Mayor. I would like to nominate you for a second term. It's not anything that's it's somewhat uncommon, but it has happened before. I would like to nominate you for another term as mayor. I think that this last year sort of whizzed by, and a lot of things happened to you. I think you were married last year. Am I right? Last year? So, I mean, there are so many things that went on, and I personally would like to say, I am so proud to be working with you. It's gotten a little, like Gary Edwards said, a little bit of an ass tangle here at the end, but you know what? We'll make it. And I look forward to you because I believe we're moving on to recovery. And I'm really excited about that. And I think you, sir, will be a big part of that. So I nominate you to serve as mayor.
Well, I would graciously, I would graciously accept your nomination. I would love to continue on, and I think it would, yeah, that would be great. I would love it. So I appreciate that, Madeline. Thank you. Do we have other nominations for mayor? All right. Seeing none, then.
I think there's public comment.
Oh, okay. We'll go ahead and ask for public comment. We'll close the nomination period. I got a gavel now. Closing the my table's gonna have a hole in it by the end of the night. Just like it's been so long. So we'll go ahead and open up public comment for the mayor nomination. We're seeing nobody rise. We'll go ahead and close public comment and bring it back to the council.
I'd like to make a comment.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so glad that Councilmember Agrimonti nominated you. I think that you did an outstanding job this year, and I fully support you continuing on for all the reasons I mentioned when talking about your last term. And I also, I really hope that you do get a chance to do a little bit more of the ceremonial stuff in this term. Just like we continued our all-call days because they also didn't have an opportunity to do too many of the ceremonial things. You know, I think you really deserve the opportunity to lead the 4th of July parade, and I hope for all of us that we get to have it this year and that you get to be the head of it. So that's my wish for the year.
Okay, thank you. And I love that too. And I one of the saddest things, I didn't get to throw out a Stompers baseball pitch. That was like one of the big ones. 4th of July parade and that were like the big ones I wanted to do. So I hope we have the opportunity to bring back baseball and the 4th of July parade this year. We'll see, but I hope.
So I guess, was that intended to be a second?
We'll call it a second. Does that count as a second, Jeff Walter?
Yeah, second.
All right. If we could have a roll call vote then.
Councilmember Agrimonti.
Aye.
Councilmember Dean.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington.
Aye.
And Mayor Harvey.
Changing my name. Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 401.
So now we're looking for, I'll keep the gavel. Maybe I'll get the jewelry off it. I kind of like it though. We're looking for nominations for the position of vice mayor, and I actually have a nomination for this. For me, this person has been a stalwart leader for the city of Sonoma for a really long time. Whenever there's some sort of mission out there to go get, she goes and gets it. She cares deeply about our homelessness situation. I think it's something that we're going to be working on a lot in the next year. And I think that, between the fare free shuttle and the CRV that she just brought us this year, I would love to nominate Madeline Agrimonti. We work well together, and I think that there's going to be a lot of back and forth this year. So I would love to nominate as Vice Mayor Madeline Agrimonti.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Do we have a second? Oh, we got to bring public comment. Are there other nominations for vice mayor? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the nomination period, and we'll go ahead and bring it out to public comment. Seeing no one rise for public comment, we'll go ahead and close the public comment period and bring it back to council. So there's a nomination on the floor. Do we have a second?
I second it, and I would just like to say I think that just like you, I mentioned, Mayor Harvey, are so dedicated to meeting with people. I think you are clearly outdone by Madeline, who meets with everybody and knows everybody and everything that's happening in this town. But I think you two are the perfect team for this time, and in general make a wonderful team. And I think we'll get a lot done. Certainly, the cemetery will be back on our weekly agendas. and I really look forward to both of your leadership. And I think this is just an outstanding team, so it's great.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so is that we call that a second, and we'll go ahead for a roll call vote.
Councilmember Agrimonti.
Aye. You sound like a great person.
Councilmember Dean.
Aye.
Councilmember Harrington.
Aye.
And Mayor Harvey.
Yes.
Called chutzpah.
She's also the funniest member of council. I try, but I'm dominated by Madeline in that category. All right.
As Madeline likes to say.
All right. You're smoking.
All right. All right. With that, usually, I mean, these are usually such fun occasions. We get to, have a little, we get a little Martinelli's apple juice or whatever in the city hall, and we have a big cake and we share it. But these are the sacrifices we make to protect our community and make sure that we stay safe and strong and healthy. And so, from a distance, I'm giving you all a hug, and I appreciate all of your hard work. I'm looking forward to this new council year. And Jack, I'm so excited to have you on. And I can't wait to see all the great things that you accomplish and the ideas that you lead. And we've just got a great team here. And so looking forward to the new year and a new council. And I guess with that, we'll adjourn unless anybody has anything else.
A couple of things. I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, of course.
Of course, the dedication of John Fanucchi, his wonderful family. I know they really appreciate this recognition. And without ending this meeting on a bad note, because I really believe we're moving into recovery, and I think we have a very good team to do this. But I wanted to mention our outgoing vice mayor. I know that she was a partner with you, Mr. Mayor, on working on the chamber project. I know there were some things that she did there, and I'm sorry, in this world, in the world of politics, sometimes it doesn't bring you everything you would like. And sometimes those things are mixed up. But my role, I have always seen as working for others, for working for other people. I try to put my needs and my, whatever I bring to the table aside, because the most important thing to me is when I work for people. And sometimes it gets confusing, but I would like to say, working with Rachel was a pleasure, and I'm sorry that her career ends in this way. And it's you know what, I have to tell you, I was on a city council where the council member handed a note from the dais to the city attorney and said, I'm resigning. So this was not the most spectacular resignation. I have another one that outdid it, but thank you. And it's tough being on a city council, but I love it. Thank you.
I thought the most spectacular resignation was Dan White, Madeline.
You're right. You outdid me. You're absolutely right. Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm from San Francisco.
You couldn't help herself. I know.
I thought that's who that was. Oh my God. All right.
Hey, we have fun.
Well, I apologize, Madeline. I forgot to let you make your vice mayor comments, so I appreciate you making them. And very good. So with that, we are adjourned. And thank you all.
Welcome, Jack.
And welcome, Jack. We're gonna have a great time.
Back, Amy.
Good, everybody.
Thank you. I guess the only comment is we will be back on the 14th, right?
Yes, we will be back on the 14th.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
All
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.